Yaser, how long have you worked in public access?
As a job, officially, I've been just about 2 years, but I volunteered for about 4 years before I got the job. Actually, I got the job through volunteering.
And when you volunteered doing public access, what was it that made you want to even go to public access to do the volunteer work there?
It's I have a master's degree in film production, but the opportunity of doing public access it's fantastic. It's unbelievable. The reason that is, even though if you go to film school or whatever, you do a lot of studying, you do a lot of they teach you how to do things, but not as much hand-on. But even though it's a very modest operation, small studios or not very sophisticated cameras, but everything basic is in there, and it's a great opportunity for the people who want to learn the process on one hand, but on the other hand, it's a great opportunity for people to express themselves, to do show, to do anything they want to do. It's open for anybody to do whatever, their imagination will go. They can do it. And a lot of people use that, but most people don't use it to the max, to realize the potential of the opportunity.
What is it exactly that you do at the cable company?
Oh, it's this is that's the whole point of doing this, because the resources is very limited as far as the human resources, and not a lot of help. So we'll give you opportunity to do everything. You start to build the show from the in every aspect of it. You do the light, you do the sound, you just have to work everything. And just most of the time it's a one person operation.
So you run the entire program?
Yeah, we've done that several times. I mean, in many occasions, no volunteers, and I could be the only one in there, and it worked out really fine. It is. I mean, everything I learned in film school, it's just, we did a lot of stuff in school, but in order to practice all that, you have to do it. Right. There's nothing substitute doing stuff in order to learn it. Education is great, but you have to put it to practice in order to learn it. And it's something I learned more about film, even though we did some television shows in school, but it will teach you what to do and what not to do in film. It teaches you also about the other medium.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it's like some shots are acceptable in television. Some shots are not acceptable in the movies. The same shot are not acceptable in the movies.
So you were able to see the
difference. And in the back of your mind, you probably know about that, but once you do it over and over again, it will reinforce all these thoughts, and it will just make it, make you a better both mediums.
Have you ever worked in any other television or media venue other than working with the public access?
No.
So as far as media and your media involvement, it's been strictly with the...
as far as television, yes. That's the only...
Now, we talked about the differences that you learned in film school. So going on with the film school differences and working in television, what, except for the obvious, are some of the other differences that you noticed in working with both?
Film is just you have to compose differently for television. Okay, therefore when you watch television, you see a lot of tight shots. Seldom you go when you see whatever size screen when you watch in a movie. You go to the theater, and you hardly could see like a tight shot on a face. It's done over and over, but it's not acceptable as much as television, because the size of the screen is a big factor.
Because you work in public access and you have a keen perspective on its effect on people, how valuable do you think public access television is for the community?
As I mentioned before, it's a great opportunity for both people behind and in front of the camera. For the behind the camera people, it's a great opportunity to learn. But for the people on front of the camera, it's the only opportunity they ever had in this country in anywhere else, because a lot of countries start imitating this public access project. Like probably Canada started before the United States, New Zealand, England, a lot of countries now they start having this program. The media, as you know, is television especially is reserved for the elite as far as access, and it's the only opportunity for the common people to express themselves in any way they want to. So this is invaluable. It's just unbelievable.
So do you believe there to be an impact once it's eliminated?
No. The reason, because technology evolving, a lot of things changing all the time. It's inconceivable to think, you know, this program is going to stay in this format forever. The shortcoming of this program now, it's not on showcasing what you do, but on how to produce a programming. Okay, a lot of the public access producers, they relied for a long time on those studios to produce the shows for them, and they bicycle them all over the country. But now you have a wider, a bigger, unbelievable market. You have the world as your market. You go online and you could just post it on so many sites, and if you have some innovative idea about how to market it and how to expose it to, you have the whole world as your studio, as your television, and instead limited to a certain 5-mile radius. But they have to figure out a way how to produce their shows.
Right, because before, whereas they had a studio to go to create the show, now it's going to be up to the individual themselves.
Yeah.
And you're talking about the city-run public access station, right?
Yes.
As opposed to cable-run, where the future is going.
Well, I don't know what the city is going to do, but it's just, the city is going to be, if you look around what's going on in the country and in the city and in the state, it's everything is getting very tight, and they can afford the more important things, even though they don't think this is very important. But it's just, they have priorities, and it doesn't matter how much money they spend on it, they don't have the expertise nor the finance, nor the will to do it. I think it's just going to be a political pressure.
I hope you're wrong. We'll go with that. Some public access shows are distasteful. Some are very informative. Which type do you think there is more of?
Definitely that distasteful is more abundant, but it goes with the territory. You cannot say we're gonna have a freedom for people to do whatever they want, and at the same time you're gonna censor it. Okay, it's up to the viewer to decide. Everybody had the option to watch it or not watch it. But if you start putting rules, you're gonna eliminate a lot of the goods with the bad. Therefore, it's a free format, and it should stay that way.
Great. What do you think the producers get out of having the public television venue? What do you think they're getting out of it?
It depends on the producer themselves. You have the opportunity to do whatever you want. I used to work in master control at one point, and I used to see those shows. when we play them. And some of those people literally been doing that for 20, 25, 30 years. And you look at their first show and the last show, and it's almost identical. No improvement whatsoever. When I meant by opportunity, this is those people not taking, you know, if you like to do it for fun, that's fine. But really, you could take it to a higher stage, and you have the opportunity to produce a pilot. You have the opportunity to showcase whatever talent you have. And some people do it for fun, that's fine. But also, you know, some people have the opportunity to do, you know, if they don't have access to bigger, you know, stages or studios or something, you could do whatever you want.
How about you? Do you personally find satisfaction in producing these shows?
Yes, to a degree, but sometimes those producers, they come unprepared.
Do you personally perceive any relation to the First Amendment rights in public access television?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's I mean,
explain.
It's a great opportunity to express yourself and to express yourself to an audience. The limitation is it's you could decide to go wider, but you really, if you have a message, you'll find the audience. I found the only rating we could find in public access is the feedback from the viewer themselves. And I noticed, you know, it depends on the subject matter, on if you're really doing some service to the community, if you're helping somebody, you really get a good feedback. And the sleazy shows, they get the sleazy people to answer for them. It's the same thing. Whatever you're doing, you find your audience. And it's a great opportunity to, I mean, it's no better freedom of expression than that, you know, it's television.
Mm-hmm. So where will you go once this change is final?
Well, it's just, actually I'm gonna go to do some film.
Oh, that's wonderful. That sounds exciting. Moving on to greater, bigger, better.
I've been burning this off for a long time, so.
And how about your colleagues?
I don't know. Everybody, you know, have their own.
So is anyone staying with Time Warner?
I'm not sure. We don't have any information to that.
All right. If I'm crossing a line, tell me with this question, okay? Is why do you think Time Warner Cable asked you to no longer speak to the media with regard to the deletion of public access?
This matter is handled by the public relation department, and it's not very wise for anybody to comment on something they don't know about. Okay, the public relation, they probably know some information we don't. So I don't. If everybody in the company will start, you know, just make up stuff, it could be a big mess. So it better be handled by the people who know the inside information, and everybody, you know.
And let one representative speak on behalf of everybody?
Huh?
And just let one representative speak on behalf of everybody?
No, the people informed. I rather have the people who informed, who are the decision makers, who are, you know, doing the negotiation, if they're doing a negotiation with the city or whoever they are, comment on this. It would be more accurate information, because everybody they have their own take on it.
Right, and who knows what kind of spin they're going to put to it. So I guess it's better like that. All right, why do you think they asked you to keep it under wraps when the initial new legislation was being made?
Nobody asked us to keep it under wrap. Anything goes. Anything goes in Sacramento. If you are really in this field, you should be aware of what's going on. It's your responsibility to be informed about the laws, about the activity of the legislation. It's nobody's fault, you know. It's everybody, you know. Nobody is aware of the situation until the last minute. I do not understand that. This law being passed over like 2.5 years or something. And for somebody to come and tell me they didn't know about that, it's not no fault of me or anybody else.
This happened this past June.
No, it's this being the process been going on for a long time.
But it was finally signed in June, right?
I'm not sure exactly about the date of the signature, but the new player like AT&T and all those cable, those telephone company, they've been involved in it, and the law passed so they could provide cable, and that's why the law changed.
So as far as them working out something with the city now and making it more of an independent city-run thing, that you don't see as being as successful as it was run during the cable company?
It could be very successful, but it's going to be very limited, because when you have a limited studios, limited channels, it's going to have too much pressure on it. It's not going to absorb all these producers from all over the county.
Right, because there was 14 locations before, correct?
And more than that, because we used to receive programming from all over the country.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hmm.
So is there anything else you'd like to add about public access or information you'd like to share with us? Any fun stories?
Well, there's a lot of fun stories, but it's the thing is more important is I think it's an opportunity for a producer to start thinking, to do things in a different way, just be more innovative. They could showcase their programming online, and they have bigger audience. But the thing is, they need to start thinking differently how to produce those shows.
It's just changing. But not everybody's online, so what about people who don't have access to online?
Show me a person who is not online, and I'll show them how to do it.
Well, that's a good answer, Yaser. So you think that most people are going to move on to the online?
No, it's
So a lot of these
it's an opportunity to everybody has a computer. Everybody is just it's a matter of doing things. It's just you cannot. It's
so you're an advocate for still finding your voice for public access, just in a different realm, like maybe going online or through a different media form, right? Is that what you're getting at?
Public access is an era probably coming to maybe not an end, but it's going to be lessened, because what you could do online is you could compete with the big guys, with the big channels, if you have something to say. How many times like a video or a sketch or something like that got online and they got millions of hits, and people start a career by doing something like that. When you get that so many hits, that means you are up to something, and people willing to finance your ideas. That's why the public access is a great opportunity, not just to keep on it forever, but a great opportunity for you to produce something. You showcase your ability, your thinking. What are you capable of doing? You could do a pilot. You could do whatever you want.
So So for the producers, your message for the producers of public access is take the knowledge you've got and now use it towards something else.
That's right.
And for future producers, maybe producers who hadn't quite gotten to public access yet and now don't have that opportunity, what information can you give for them?
It's just, if you really want to do something, it's just either school, or if it's public school, college, community college, a lot of information online will teach you anything. You could find information about how to do anything. It's a matter of discipline if you wanna learn something, and if you wanna invest the time. That's the hardest thing. People don't have the discipline to follow up and educate themselves of what they're gonna do.
Okay, well that's it. That's all the questions I have.
All right.
Anything else you want to add? No? Good? Oh, that's it?
Ask me a question.
Yeah, you did good, huh? You did wonderful.
Very good.
Well, thank you.
Your answers were so wonderful.
I
Articulated through
I reserve the editorial this.